What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So week 6 of the Alliance is officially in the books. Only 4 weeks remaining before we hit the postseason. We had another great week, in my opinion. I feel like every week the product continues to get better and better, but let's jump right into it. First matchup of week 6, we had the Memphis Express taking on the Salt Lake Stallions. This was a game of 2 one-win teams, so really important for both of these teams going into this. Pretty much at this point, whoever lost this game, it was going to be a very hard road to try and fight their way back into the playoffs. But nonetheless, Salt Lake came away with a victory 22-9. It is worth noting this game was much closer than the final score showed. Zach Mettenberger went out in this game, and after that, Salt Lake started to pull away. But nonetheless, 22-9 final in this one. So on to Saturday night's game. We had the Arizona Hotshots taking on the undefeated Orlando Apollos. This game was crazy. A lot of quirky things happening in this one. Garrett Gilbert actually threw his first interception of the year in this one, as well as they ended up with their first loss. Arizona came away with the win, 22-17. So Orlando now they were the last undefeated team. So now all teams in the AAF have at least lost 1 game. So no undefeated teams this year. But final in this one, Arizona 22, Orlando 17. Sunday's games. The first game up was the San Antonio Commanders at the Atlanta Legends. This game, San Antonio stayed in control from the get-go. Last week, I said I wanted to see them be able to play a complete 4-quarter game. They ended up having a close game with Arizona after leading 26-0 at the half. But in this one, they kept the accelerator down. That defense, guys, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about it here. They are leading the league in turnovers. They had, I believe, 5 turnovers last week against Arizona, 4 this week against Atlanta. They cruised to the victory 37-6. So to round out week 6, we had the Birmingham Iron at the San Diego Fleet. This game, Birmingham, as you know, was just coming off of a quarterback change. Keith Price was the starter in this one, taking over for Luis Perez. Price ended up getting hurt early. Looked like maybe a minor concussion, so to speak. So Perez comes back in, and he actually played pretty well. He ended up getting his first touchdown. He actually finished the game with 3 touchdowns. So I guess got a little humble pie, so to speak, of sitting on the bench. So he comes in and played well. I won't say he played perfect because he did still have some turnovers, but he threw for 3 touchdowns in this one. Birmingham, with the last-second field goal, eked this one out, 32-29. So throw up the current standings here. As you can see in the West, San Antonio now has taken over sole possession of first place. Orlando still sits at the top, but Birmingham now has closed the gap with Orlando losing and the Iron winning. Interested to see how it all plays out. Salt Lake technically is still in it since they beat Memphis. But guys, hey, that reminds me, you still have time to get entered in on my giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and link the video up in this corner here for you. Jump over to that video, get entered in, win yourself a piece of Alliance apparel. I'm going to run it, I guess, the next couple of days, and then in my next video, I will actually announce the winner. So it's not too late. Be sure and head over to that video. I give the details of how to get entered in on that, as well as, if you're not already, be sure and check out my Instagram as well as Facebook. I'll put both of those down in the description below. Head over, give me a like, give me a follow. Right now, it's a lot easier for me to connect with you guys on those platforms because I haven't hit that threshold to have the chat feature on YouTube. Hope to hit that, but we're not there just yet. So it's a lot easier for me to quickly communicate with you via Instagram or Facebook. So do me a favor, if you like this channel, head over there, follow me on there as well. But let's get into my 5 takeaways for this week, guys. So first up, and I'm just going to read off of my notes here. First up, the Memphis quarterback carousel continues. So as you know, Hackenberg start the season. He was the starting quarterback, played awful. Finally, Singletary decided to roll the dice, putting Mettenberger in. He gave those guys a little bit of a spark, won the starting job. He got hurt in this one. Now they have just signed, in breaking news, dun, 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 everybody knows this and they're probably tired of hearing about, but Johnny Manziel is joining the Alliance. San Antonio had the rights to him. They actually waived. Just my personal opinion. I think that was the right move. Commanders team has great chemistry right now, and I don't want those off-field distractions that Johnny Manziel brings to ruin that. So I think that was a good move on their part. However, Memphis was next in line. For those of you who don't know, when you waive a player or when you pass on a player, then the order is whatever team has the worst record down. So Memphis was next in line. They decided to sign him, so my guess is he's going to be the starter next week. We'll see though, but Memphis quarterback carousel continues. They need some kind of a spark and somebody back there to play quarterback. Nonetheless, on to number 2. So Orlando is handed their first loss. So I predicted that they probably wouldn't go undefeated. Wasn't sure when they would lose a game. I felt it may have been more against the Express or the Iron. But nonetheless, Hotshot stepped up. They played ball. They played a great game. Had a good game plan. They almost lost. Orlando, I'll give them credit. They played 4 quarters of football and fought all the way to the end. But nonetheless, they got their first loss. Number 3, PEREZ wins his job back? ? And I put a question mark on this because, so Keith Price, like I said, he was the starter in this one. He replaced PEREZ last week because PEREZ, we're halfway through the season and he hadn't thrown a touchdown pass yet. So I don't know how your starting quarterback goes half a season without throwing a touchdown pass and is still the starter. But nonetheless, Keith Price went in, got hurt. Like I said, I guess that ignited something in PEREZ because he went off. He threw for 3 touchdowns in this game. Not saying by any means that he played perfect, but he at least showed us that he can complete those deep throws and score some points. Number 4, Commanders sit atop the West at 4-1. The crazy part about this, guys, I don't know how much you guys keep up with the Commanders, but me personally, like I said, that's my team. They went on a 4-game road trip. So literally, they won their opener against the Fleet, played Orlando very close, had a tough loss at home, and then they went on the road for 4 straight games. Kind of a brutal stretch. They went 3-1 on that stretch. So to me, they are in the driver's seat. Like I said, I think the 4 games that are left, they only have 1 road game, and it's against Salt Lake, I think, to end the year. Don't quote me on that, but I believe so. So the next 3 games of theirs are going to be at home. As you know, that place, Alamo Dome, is always rocking, so that's going to be in their favor. I don't see them being an underdog in any of the rest of the games from here on out. But number 5, and this really doesn't have so much to do with any of the teams, but the late night games on NFL Network. Maurice Jones-Drew and Marvin Lewis, I feel, are probably the weakest and worst commentators that this league has. I don't know. I just feel like they nag a lot. I kind of look at it as there's 2 guys that aren't in the NFL now that kind of wishes that they were still in the NFL. But like I said, that's just my opinion. I feel like they could find some better guys because Marvin Lewis, for one, he's very much, whenever he commentates, it's just very slow and monotone, and there's really no excitement. Even whenever they score a touchdown, he just kind of gives it the old ball coach jargon, so to speak. But nonetheless, like I said, that's just kind of a bonus takeaway. I guess it's not really 5 takeaways. But anyway, guys, if you're not already, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button for me. Turn the bell notification on. That way you know when my next video comes out. As well as, if you like these videos, do me a favor, hit that like button. That just lets me know you enjoy this content. I'll continue to come out with more. I cover pretty much all things Alliance football, as well as I like to fish, do some motivational type stuff, a little bit of everything. But nonetheless, that's all I got for this one. I want you guys, though, to jump down in the comment section for me. After week 6, who do you think is going to be in the playoffs? For me, in the West, I'm feeling it's going to be the Commanders and probably Arizona. I just have this weird feeling that they're going to get on some kind of a hot streak. John Wolford is going to find his fire again, and it's going to be Arizona. That's my take in the West. In the East, I'm going to have to change it up a bit because I said it was going to be Orlando and Memphis. I don't think even bringing in Johnny Football is going to completely right the ship and get them into the postseason. I really feel that it's probably going to be Birmingham, even though their offense is weak in my opinion. I think that they'll do enough to get in, but jump down in the comment section. Let me know who you think, as well as don't forget that giveaway, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. That's all I got for this one. I'm out.